Grace and peace, family. Grace and peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. My Adhotep. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. You know what time it is. You are with your sister, Vicki Dillard, your sister with the curly braids on my own channel today at VickiDillard.tv. Yes, I know you see the Vicki show pretty much syndicated, as it were, on mainstream online platforms, but we are building and focusing on my channel. And I've been telling you to look to stay tuned for upcoming programming changes for those that have been inquiring about some things that have changed. I have to make sure we cross all of our T's and dot our I's before any and all legal announcements. Thank you so much for your understanding. I do have a little bit of a tradition that as you come in, be sure to come in giving us a big thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like and share. Would you do that for me? On the count of three, for those of you that haven't, on the count of three, for those of you that have it, I want you to get ready to hit that thumbs up button and share, share, share. And also be sure to subscribe, okay? On the count of three, everybody come in giving us a big thumbs up, thumbs up. 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share, 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 share. Thank you so very much, dear family. We are so pleased that you are with us today. I need to get to where we're going as quickly as possible. Somebody black, talk black to me. You all know that this is the season. Hey, Shalina. Hey, Empress Queen. Hey, Kings and Queens Coaching Group. Hey, Nadia. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Decode. I see some of you all coming in. Welcome to the Vicki Show. Everybody be sure to hit that thumbs up button and share, share, share. Thank you so very much, beloved. Thank you so very much. Family, now you all know that we are in election season. I've already told you. I know my day ones that follow me on multiple platforms. You all know that I have made announcements all over the place wherever I see my message that I was going to be specifically dealing with the election because I want Black folks not to get the shakes right around election time. That means you feel compelled to vote because you want to save your Democratic white masters. Talk black to me, somebody. This is not the time for you to start freaking out talking about democracy is going to end as you know it, and then decide that you're going to lose your mind and then just vote by default when they promise to do absolutely nothing for you. How many of you all know that sometimes abstention is actually doing something? We want to be strategic with our vote. Talk black to me, somebody. So yes, I continue to talk about it in different ways, but I want to play you this clip here in just a moment. I won't be before you long, but I will be strong. I want to play this clip that I came across online, but before I read you that clip, I wanted you to see this headline from the New York Times. So many print publications have picked up this story in one way or another. I want you all to see this headline. Do you all see this headline? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Share, share, share the broadcast. Y'all see that? This just came out less than 24 hours ago. And the headline says, as Black voters drift to Trump, Biden's allies say they have work to do. New York Times and Siena College polling painted a worrisome picture of the president standing with a crucial constituency. Democratic strategists warn that the erosion could threaten his reelection. It says Black voters are more disconcerted from the Democratic Party than they have been in decades. Now, I know you all probably wondering, Vicki, why do you always show us these headlines? Because I want you all to know that the powers that shouldn't be mainstream media, the one that constantly lies to you, talk black to me, somebody, they are freaking out. They're sounding the alarm because they know the election is just around the corner. And so they're trying to do everything that they can so that they don't use their greatest constituency. Why are we their greatest constituency? We're their greatest constituency because we give them power to do something for everybody but us. We require nothing but a photo op and them to attend your churches to sing Amazing Grace. Talk black to me, somebody. Homegirl Vicki Dillard bringing the receipts. And I continue to show you the headlines, not just because it's mainstream media sounding the alarm, but they keep sounding the alarm. Do y'all see that? I said they keep sounding the alarm. Every day, every week, it's a new publication. They are freaking out. Let me tell you something, family. The shifts that you see in the world today, the shift that you see in the United States of America, the fact that we have made reparations, we have given reparations the momentum that we have over the past years. I know some people will point to some other organizations, and no disrespect, but some of them are obscure. I see you, Toronto. Some of them are obscure, and I say that it doesn't mean that certain groups have not been pushing for reparations in America. It just means that they lack the momentum. They haven't been contacting us. They haven't been having their connections to the streets to really get it going. We're not the ones that's going to let our policymakers off the hook. We're the ones that's giving it life. We're the ones that cause your presidential candidates to discuss it and put it on the biggest bully pulpit there is. Talk black to me, somebody. I see you, New York. I see you, Aquarius 79. I see my moderators in the chat. Thank you, Mods, for putting my links and all the ways that they can support us with our PayPal and Cash App. Thank you all so very much. You all know that the Vicki Show, before COVID, before some of these other big platforms that are white and otherwise started to lose and become demonetized, you all know your sister with the curly braids have been talking about some of these different platforms on multiple networks and other platforms that I've been on for years now. So I thank you all so much for your support. You know, no disrespect. Every dollar, every penny counts. We appreciate that. But you all know what I do. Mostly, your giving doesn't, really cover, what we do. So when you support alternative online media such as ours, you're supporting yourself. Joyless reading them, they're not saying what we're saying. They're not speaking for you. Talk black to me, somebody. This should go without saying, okay? And you all know that the power of Vicki Dillard is more than just in my individual subscribership and in my individual viewership. Talk black to me, somebody. It's the power of what I say, which is why networks and high-profile people, and some of you would even call some of them powerful, pay attention to what we say, to what I say. Talk black to me. There's a reason for that. Thank you, beloved, who said salute to you, Vicki. Somebody said Jackson, Mississippi. I see you, Jackson. I see you, New York. Y'all hit that thumbs up button, share, share, share. And don't forget, we only have a few days. I was talking about some of the different shifts that are happening in government, different shifts that are happening in our world, and the reason why what we say is coming to the forefront. Don't ever let that be lost on you, that what we're talking about is making its way to the forefront. And we're outside of legacy media. We're outside of establishment media. We're outside the system. How many of you all know that? One of the things that causes us to be effective, and one of the reasons we're going to continue to be effective, is because we are working in tandem with an unseen government. Talk black to me. Your sister with the curly braids. I'm a spiritual first, baby. I'm a metaphysician first. I'm a prophetic voice first. It's our super that we add to our natural that sets us apart. That's what's making us effective. And how many of you all know that some of the things that we see taking place, most people never would have thought would occur. And some people are still naysayers about our demand for reparations and so much more. But how many of you all know that when you tap into your supernatural power, when you tap into your divine privileges, and you as a melanated person, you in particular have special blood codes. And these codes are carried through, first and foremost, by the womb. I'm going to be talking about some of these blood codes in connection with the Vatican. Myself, along with my dear brother, Rod Hayes. My brother Rod Hayes is a mystic. Rod is known all over the world. And so Rod is going to be with me on Sunday, November 12th. So just a few days around the corner. You don't want to miss this Ancestors webinar, where we're going to be talking to you in particular about why it is that the Vatican wields outsized power around the world. They took those rights, those sacred spiritual rights, and turned them into a demonic system after stealing them from Black prophetesses. These Black prophetesses guided the world. That's no exaggeration. We're going to talk about why that's important to know and what we can do to reclaim our throne. So y'all hit the link in the chat. Just a few days away. Don't miss it. Make the investment for you and your lineage. Don't let this be the topic that somebody needs to scream and talk about all the time for you to bust a move. You have to discern destiny-altering portals. When there's a portal, when there's a specific sliver of time, that means that there's only a certain level of grace on that time. And you've got to be discerning enough to know when to move. You know, there's a story about that we learned in Sunday school. And you all know that I teach from the text, or whenever I teach from the Bible, I teach from other sacred texts too, many other sacred texts. But the Bible is one of them. And whenever I quote from the Bible, I use it as a book of magic. I use it as a book of magic because a large chunk of the Bible has come from more ancient texts like the Enuma Elish, as well as some of the prophecies and other things were actually stolen from other ancient Black systems. So there's a story that there was a certain time a year where there were the waters that would be stirred, and an angel would come to stir the waters, and supernatural miracles would happen. And this lame person missed the opportunity, that specific time where the waters were stirred so that he could receive a miracle. And Jesus asked the man, did he even want to be healed? That seems like that was an asinine question to ask, because you would think it's obvious. If he's lame, if he's crippled, of course he would want to walk. But it was more than just that. I'm bringing up that particular story because I'm trying to let you all know that the waters weren't stirred. The angel didn't come down to stir the water every day. You have to discern your moment, and you have to know when to invest in that moment. And especially because this deals with your lineage, this deals with spells, hexes, and curses on your life, and this deals with us reprogramming our lives so that we can operate in divine patterns, so that we, yes, those of us that are considered to be the nobodies, will become the new world rulers. Hit that link, family, and don't you dare miss it. Only a few days away. Get back to this, Vicki. So this New York Times article that came out less than 24 hours ago, as well as several others that's been coming out, they keep writing these articles. These articles are not from last year. They're not even from a few months ago, which would still be recent. They continue to write these articles because the Democrat Party is worried. Are y'all hearing me today? Listen to what else it says. As you all continue to hit that thumbs up button, be sure to share the link. Shout out to our moderators that are putting important links in the chat. So throughout the broadcast, you will see my mods highlighted in blue. They're going to be putting important information there. Be sure, family, to click the link so that you'll have it for reference. Screenshot it, because you can always rewind the broadcast back if you miss something that they said. But for the webinar is posted at the top of the chat. Just FYI. Thank you all so much. And so much love to our beautiful moderators that volunteer their time to serve you. Somebody said unparalleled when it comes to delivering truthful news. Vicki Dillard stands in a lane of her own, simply unmatched. You are so precious, DC. Thank you for your very kind words. Watch this. It goes on to say that new polls by the New York Times and Siena College found that 22% of Black voters in 6 of the most recent battleground states said that they would support former President Donald Trump in next year's election, and 71% said they would back Mr. Biden. Somebody say they in trouble. And the thing is, the Democrats are so hard-headed and obstinate, there's no reason for them to be dealing with this challenge? They're dealing with this challenge because they simply refuse to fight for what we specifically told them to do. They think we're still their slaves. You all need to see it as that serious. Both Democrats and Republicans, overwhelmingly by majority, ensured that the AAPI community, the Asian Pacific Island community, got legislation, an anti-discrimination legislation for Asians. The people who founded America and who was here before America was officially America, we're still technically waiting on something that's substantive. That's with overwhelming support, almost overwhelming support, certainly majority support from both Republicans and Democrats. Now, when it came down to giving the AAPI community money, they didn't even need legislation for the $50 million we gave them. Do you know that your Democrat president, your Democrat Senate, and your Democrat House of Representatives at the time just simply redirected $50 million that was already in the government and gave it to the AAPI community because they said they was dealing with discrimination during COVID? They got all of those benefits in 1 year's time. Y'all forgot that we use our very Black taxpayer dollars to bring over the white Afghans. Some of y'all forgot that we still sending billions and billions and billions and billions to Russia for Ukraine. Some of you are forgetting that the oppressive class, them folks, still getting benefits and loopholes because of policies that our Black votes help them get. But the moment we say we want specific reparations for us, they talking about studies and stuff. We need to make them study us, study our absence. Y'all don't believe fat meat is greasy. And we can show you better than we can tell you. The Democrats are worried not because of your Black bootlicks and Aunt Jemimas and League of Mammies that are in place that are your news media talking heads. They're in trouble because of the work we're doing. Talk Black to me. And I want to give you one example. Let me read this one quote before I go. A little further down, it says that the drift in support is striking, given that Mr. Trump won just 8% of Black voters nationally in 2020 and 6% in 2016, according to the Pew Research Center. A Republican presidential candidate has not won more than 12% of the Black vote in nearly half a century. The reason why Black folks are talking about Trump is not because Black folks like Trump. We see him equally as a white supremacist like Joe Biden. We don't see them any differently. We're saying that whichever group, we're saying that Biden and the Democrats and Kamala and them, y'all fronted. You lied to us about what you would do with our votes. And to teach you a lesson, a political lesson. Some are saying they're willing to go and vote for him over you to let you all know we don't see you any different. You keep trying to make these distinctions. Joe Biden crafted the modern anti-Black Holocaust against us. Your Democrat, Joe Biden, who got it signed by your Democrat, Bill Clinton. Came across this clip I saw on Twitter recently, and I want you all to look at this clip real quick. This is under the Copyright Act of 1976. Y'all, I want y'all to watch this Black Chicago resident, what they said to during one of their hearings about in Chicago related to the policymakers, related to so many illegals getting priority and funding and resources over Blacks in Chicago who are homeless and Black folks who still, we haven't gotten reparations. Everybody make sure you hit that thumbs up button, share, okay? Make sure you also subscribe, family. Thank you so very much. Watch this.
Zoe Lee.
Watch Zoe.
Man, I'm gonna try not to curse, but y'all, man, like I've been researching Zodiac 29, and this is exactly what's going on. Only thing this time is the Hispanics versus the blacks, and we don't have that strong black leadership that we had with Harold Washington back then. So y'all are letting the Hispanics do whatever they want to do, keep saying we got to have dignity, but the blacks aren't doing enough in y'all leadership skills. So what's the point of being an alder person if y'all aren't going to be for the community? That makes no sense. Yes, it's starting to become a race war, but at the end of the day, I know who's going to win because we built this. Okay? This is unconstitutional. This is inhumane. And to come here and to continue to see more Hispanics and Latinos get jobs than blacks here is a disrespect. It's a punch in the face. You want us to continue to understand and see the problem, but y'all don't see the problem in the black culture. Black people are the influence. We wouldn't, y'all know, nobody would be here if it wasn't for us. Okay, this is a whole new generation. This social media, this now, like, you're not gonna allow this to happen. And we're not gonna allow this to happen because we're gonna force you to do the right thing. And if not, y'all getting out of here. I was in Georgia when they flipped that state blue for the first time. I will knock on every senior's door and make them hold their vote. This place will flip red. It'll be a historical moment. Because y'all not paying attention to them anyway. They're getting displaced. Y'all don't care what y'all trying to find. Y'all trying to find housing for Venezuelans, for Latinos, for all that. Y'all keep sending them over here when they need to go back. Y'all, one time y'all sent ICE there. ICE need to come. There's prostitution that's behind all of these police districts. I live in Streeterville. It's prostitution right up the street. I mean, it's a disrespect, and y'all continue to allow this to happen. Like Mayor Johnson is the most hated, and he's going to continue to be. The only people that like him is teachers and some of y'all. Okay? I'm trying to tell you, my tax money is not going to continue to allow this. Y'all need to find our money. You need to put more things in our neighborhoods. Y'all aren't doing nothing. These small businesses, only thing you're giving it to is Latinos. Nah, it's more than that. This is the most segregated city. And the United States is looking at us.
Ms. Lee, thank you very much for your comments. However, your time.
Shout out to my brother. I saw this on Twitter. And yes, this was on one of the local NBC channels, Channel 5 there. But I'm telling you, we're the ones that's making the news. I've been covering Black Chicago because Black Chicago, they've been suing the city. Talk black to me, somebody. They've been doing major protests. Y'all gonna learn today. Some of you all love to say, when somebody gonna do something, y'all better talk about Chicago because they putting their money where their mouth is. They've been suing folks. They've been showing up. This is the kind of stuff we show up for. But then you hear, you see your black face white supremacists that do the bidding of the Democrat Party. They love to try to tell us how politics works, but why aren't they covering this political engagement from black folks? I got a source that sent me some photos and pictures and information that, do you all know that there are certain black organizations that Jesse Jackson is involved in too, where they pay them to throw events for black folks to show up for the Democrats? Do you all know it's humiliating? My brother sent me some photos of the events and ain't nobody coming but Jesse Jackson and the people that's pushing his wheelchair. No disrespect, but it's just real. Y'all know I did what I'm overcoming a serious autoimmune illness, so y'all know I wouldn't mock nobody's health and stuff, but that's about the only people that showed up. Him and the people that pushed the wheelchair. Talk black to me, somebody. It is a new day. Did you hear that Black Chicago residents say that we will turn this place red. Again, all the time they love to tell us Black folks ain't engaged. Why aren't they showing these back-to-back engagement with the lawmakers? How come they're not showing Black folks saying, oh, we're going to get involved? It's not going to be involvement the way you want it, though. And notice Black folks don't have to be compelled and tricked into showing up to these events. And they don't require Amazing Grace or fried chicken. They're driven there by their disgust in prioritizing everybody over us. That's right, Cool Keezy. They're going to learn. Black folks, we are the ones that's responsible for the immigration legislation that passed in the 60s, right around the same time Civil Rights and Voting Rights Act passed. Do you all know that we served as the impetus for immigrants to come to the United States? I'm bringing that up to simply say we've always been about the diaspora. But y'all playing with us right now. Right now, y'all are playing right in our faces. And now Black folks are suing cities, showing up, voting, but to make a point to you that you will not give us the middle finger and tell us you're not going to give us reparations, but you go out of your way to ensure that they have everything that they need. People who broke the law to get here, people who broke federal law, violated all kinds of other state laws, and you all want us to be understanding of their plight, and we love everybody, but we're talking about what the priority ought to be. Those days are over. The Democrats think that we're their slaves. We tell them what our issue is, and they look at us like ninja please. That's what they're doing. When we say reparations and they don't act on it, we've got to make them pay electorally, politically. Had to be clear about that. Now, how many of you all remember that it was our brother, Dr. Claude Anderson, many years ago, through his books like this one from Powernomics, and through many of his lectures that he conducted around the country, and he's also done lectures around the world. On page 191 of his book, Powernomics, I want to read you a quick excerpt, family. Hit that thumbs up button, family. Watch this. He says, our determined but misdirected compassion is one of our greatest impediments to self-empowerment. Did y'all hear that? Let me say that again. Dr. Claude says our determined but misdirected compassion is one of our greatest impediments to self-empowerment. We fail to concentrate our resources to empower Black Americans. How can Black Americans acquire collective wealth and power resources when our lead organizations dissipate our limited resources on civil rights for everybody? A study of material from a number of ethnic, language, religious, and gender minority organizations reveal that none of these groups includes Blacks in their programs, policies, and activities. In his book, Winning Back America, Mark Green listed all the nation's top minority rights organizations, and the only groups that even use the word minority in their program descriptions were the Black civil rights organizations. Ignoring Black people's dilemma by equating them to all so-called aggrieved groups is wrong-headed, whether it's done by whites, Blacks, or others. Not only does it give the false impression that all people in this nation have had the same experiences as Black people, it also injures and minimizes the impact of centuries of slavery, segregation, and ongoing racism. He says, worse, it releases white society from its obligations to correct the conditions imposed on blacks. Organizations whose agendas have evolved into this kind of scattered focus do not put group self-interest first. However, just as these missions become amorphous over the years, they can regroup, reassess their organizational direction, and change once again. If they choose to be a part of the effort to maximize Black self-sufficiency and Black economic competitiveness, they can refocus their missions to promote and support Black group self-interest and political empowerment. The next section is very powerful as well, because here he discusses know your competitors. I'm not going to read much, but I know I'm talking to highly intelligent Black folks, right? By the way, family, if you're just tuning in, my name is Vicki Dillard. Thank you so much for tuning into the Vicki Show here on my own channel that I'm giving more attention to. Some of you have seen me on multiple other platforms, but you are tuned in to the Vicki Show on my platform. There have been some upcoming changes. I'm going to be making some legal announcements in due course. I always say that because I always make sure I cross my T's and dot my I's before I go forth making any comments publicly. So you can let everybody know they can watch me here live, even though you'll still see me on other platforms. I'll be more specific about that in the upcoming weeks. Yes? Thank you so very much. Also, family, my moderators who are highlighted in blue will be putting important links in the chat. One in particular, you only have a few days to register for my upcoming Ancestors webinar this Sunday. We're going to be talking about the spiritual codes that's in your bloodline, how you can activate them so that you can become the new world rulers. We're going to specifically talk about how the Vatican wields undue power, outsized power, because they stole it from Black ancient prophetesses. And we're going to talk about how we can reclaim our power. I'm going to be joined with my brother, Rod Hayes, who is a well-known mystic and respected all over the world. You don't want to miss this. This will absolutely revolutionize and change your entire lineage, this knowledge and activation. I've already been doing spiritual work for the attendees over the past few weeks. And I'm telling you that as a spiritual, I have physically been paying a very serious price for that work I've been doing already. So you should expect major breakthroughs because of the work I've already started to do for those who attend. Go to VickiPlanet.com. That's my website, VickiPlanet.com, or click the link in the chat that's pinned above. Dr. Claude says about know your competitors. Very quickly, I won't read all of this, but I need to read this excerpt. He says to promote its own self-interest, a group should only select for allies those who will support the group and will not benefit from its demise. That's important, family. This is an orchestrated effort to avoid Black issues and to supplant them with Hispanics and other minorities. In 1972, the National Hispanic Party conceived a plan. Y'all better listen to this. Dr. Claude has given us the play here. He said in 1972, the National Hispanic Party conceived a plan to subordinate Black Americans by the year 2000 by bringing in a layer of minority ethnic groups between whites and Blacks. He says the Hispanic empowerment strategy is to track and copy everything that Black Americans do politically and economically, then offer Hispanics as a more socially acceptable alternative to Blacks. Like Asian, Arab, European, he says gay, handicap, and women's organizations, Hispanic organizations do not promote a Black agenda, nor do they equate Black and Hispanic interests. He says Hispanics and other so-called minorities are competing against Blacks, whether the Black overclass knows it or not. Some Hispanic groups are even more competitive and freely state their intent to totally displace Blacks on the American agenda. He even goes so far to talk about that in the spring of 1997, C-SPAN aired a conference session for the Council of La Raza. How many of y'all heard about them? Several speakers spoke openly and emphatically about Hispanics would change the issues in this country from Black to white and Hispanic. The number of Hispanics in the United States tripled between 1970 and 1990 and will surpass the Black population by 2002. This book was written many years ago. I just wanted to read you that excerpt because I found it to be very instructive. And I want you to know that Dr. Claude, who worked in the White House, he ran federal campaigns and state campaigns. He ran an educational department. He's an economist. He spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of his own money to fight for Black folks to get a type of reparations through and by treaties. He's respected all over the world. Somebody that has the inside scoop to how government works and was successful in it ought to be listened to. He's given us the political play. And as an oxygenarian, we still rock with him and his strategies for Black America. This is what we're going by, Black family. Don't be tricked by the false prophets that you see on TV. I am so proud of you all, and I want to encourage you to continue to show up. When you see your policymakers and other Democratic shills show up, we're going to continue to make our case, family. We're going to continue to publicize it, and we're going to continue to engage specifically for this issue for us, because America is absolutely doomed, and you need to tell her that the whole wide world is talking about de-dollarization, and America has no hope. First and foremost, not only because of her mistreatment of the people around the world, but first and foremost because of her treatment of the true founding fathers and mothers of this country, which are our parents. I got to run now, family. I love you so much. I can't wait. You only got a few days left this Sunday. Register today for the Royal Ancestors webinar. Myself and Rod Hayes, we're going to be breaking it down for you, beloved. We're going to give you the sacred insight about how it is that the Vatican and the other powers that shouldn't be operate. They're operating, family, because there is a supernatural power that they stole. And some of you don't know that those who have and that possess the divine authority are the ones who rule the world. That's what I'm on. And yes, it seems fantastic to onlookers and passersby. Yes, it sounds crazy to say that about someone like us that have been considered the least of these, the deaf, the dumb, and the blind. But it's our time. Our mystics prophesied long ago that the divine would use the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. That's us. Don't you miss this portal. I shouldn't have to beat you over the head to get you to see the importance of this. I don't have to do this. I pay an extraordinary price spiritually and physically to do these kinds of things. When there's a spiritual channeling that I have to do that requires a lot. So those that attend are extraordinarily special to receive this information, these activations, and these rituals for you and your children. You only got a few days. Do what you need to do to invest in yourself and your lineage. You all are so kind. I see your beautiful compliments. Thank you so much. I'm your sister with the curly braids. I can't wait to see you. By the way, all of your gifts are blessed 1,000-fold. And by the way, I have not even made this announcement public yet, but it is official. The pre-orders, the pre-sales for my luxury magazine, my Venus magazine, is available now on my website at Vicki Planet. Beloved, thank you all so much. This is another extension of supporting independent media. I'm going to be putting these out quarterly. And there were some delays, but this is the time. I'm going to also be featuring this during my Ancestors webinar. This alone, the information that I share, which is why it's going to be an investment in yourself. Of course, I'm a small business, so it's obviously additional cost to do what I'm doing here, but it's going to be well worth it. Y'all look. So beautiful. But the information I share, particularly for my queens, and the affirmations and the sacred goddess information you're going to get. Whenever you subscribe to my magazine, it's like you're going to be a part of a goddess secret society. So the information you're getting is going to activate you spiritually. So just know that this is also available at VickiPlanet.com. The pre-sales. It's going to take a few weeks to get out because I'm not going to be making the hard copies available for everybody. It's going to be digital for most people. But I'm only going to make a small handful of the hard copies available for just a few days, and then I'm cutting it off, and then the rest will be available digitally. Okay, so this is going to be a very special edition. It's going to be it's obviously my first edition, but you're absolutely going to love it. The magazine itself and the information in it is an experience. So you can get this at VickiPlanet.com. I love y'all so much. By the way, all of you that have been given to PayPal and Cash App, I see you. All of your gifts are blessed 1,000-fold. I'm your sister with the curly braids. I bow to you. You are my bliss. I can't wait to see you again.